Hey guys, so previously we got to round 100 on every Treyarch Zombies game, so now we're doing all the non-Treyarch Zombies games, which means we've gotten to round 100 on every Zombies game, which is really cool. But the non-Treyarch Zombies games are very interesting because first you start with Advanced Warfare where you have jetpacks, then you go to Infinite Warfare. We actually broke a world record on that game. And then, as you'll see in the video, and then we went to World War II, which is definitely an underrated Zombies game. I actually had a lot of fun getting to round 100 on it. And then we went to Vanguard Zombies, one of the greatest zombies games ever made. Which is a joke, of course. So hopefully you guys do enjoy.
Ah, damn it, here they come.
Okay, so the first game we're doing is Advanced Warfare because Sledgehammer was the first company other than Treyarch to make a zombies game. And in my opinion, it's actually pretty fun, but the craziest thing about it isn't the jetpacks, it's how long it takes to get to round 100. On one of the maps, Descent, the speedrun world record is 25 hours. And so I knew round 100 was going to take a long time, but I was just thankful that the setup on this map is super easy. So first of all, I just go into this big circular room and grab the AMR, and I won't be dropping this entire game because we're going to be using a trap strategy to get to the high rounds. I then turn on this generator here and then make my way to the exosuit room, and everyone just calls the exosuits jetpacks, so I'll just call them jetpacks in this video. And in my opinion, they're actually really fun to use. Obviously, I wouldn't prefer they're in every zombies game, but it's kind of nice to have a zombies game like Advanced Warfare where you can hop on and use a jetpack. I don't know, it's just fun to use. I actually kind of appreciate how they made zombies in this game because they didn't have to. I then grab Exo Health, which is just Juggernog. I do like how Sledgehammer stayed to Treyarch's kind of core design as well. And what I mean by core design is the perks and the mystery box, which I hit right here. I'm trying to get the Cell 3, which is the wonder weapon, and also the distraction drone. These are the only two things I need, but they're both very strong. I then turn on another generator, which allows me to grab Exo Reload, which is otherwise known as Speed Caller. Now, I should mention that the mystery box isn't exactly like the mystery box. It is a 3D printer, and if you're fast enough, I believe you can actually press on the weapon you want, but I think you need a very fast reaction time for that. But luckily, I do get this Cell 3 at round 8, which is really great because obviously it takes so long to get to round 100. You want to get these early rounds out of the way. In saying that though, you still need to be careful. I got so many red screens this game, it's kind of ridiculous. I do manage to pack-a-punch the Cell 3, which gives it a massive boost. You can actually pack-a-punch 20 times in this game. So just before we go over the higher round strategy, I just want to note one thing. The electric zombies, what they do is they make it so you can't use your exosuit. I'm sure most of you guys know this, but they're so annoying. They have crazy range, and if they weren't in the game would be ridiculously easy. So they're necessary for the game to work with the jetpacks, but man, they're annoying, and they're always the cause of my red screens or my downs. I then grab Exo Slam, which enables me to slam the ground. It's kind of not that great of a perk, but it's a perk, and it sometimes helps. And so, like I said, for the low rounds, I use the Cell 3 wonder weapon, which is actually a shotgun. At round 21, I get the distraction drone, which works similar to the monkey bomb, but better because you can distract the zombies faster with it. Now, here's a pretty good example of how annoying the electric zombies are. And I'd pick up this insta-kill, but the AMR is not the greatest weapon. It's a 5-burst SMG, so it's good for points, not for an insta-kill, so I have to use my camouflage. I always make sure I have the distraction drones and the camouflages. They're my only real safety net. Seeing that you can upgrade your weapon 20 times in Advanced Warfare, there are some pretty cool camos like this one, and then there are also some kind of like throwaway camos, just like different shades of white and grey. But at the end point, you then begin to get gold, and then you can get the royalty camo, I believe it's called, which is the final camo in Advanced Warfare once you get every single weapon gold, just like Dark Ether or Dark Matter. And although the Cell 3 is very strong in terms of Advanced Warfare weapons when you compare them, it's quite weak compared to, Black Ops 3 wonder weapons and Cold War wonder weapons. Those wonder weapons are completely overpowered. This one, it's somewhat skillful, but it gets quite weak past about round 30, even when it is Pack-a-Punch 20. For the high round strategy, you want to leave this door closed that we're looking at right in front of us, because we're going to be using the trap in this room, and it just speeds up the rounds and also just makes it easier to use this trap without going down. The second door I kept closed on this map was the one next to the Exomedic, otherwise known as Quick Revive, and I actually nearly go down grabbing Exomedic at round 50. I grab it at round 50 because if I go down before then, I just restart the game anyway, because it's going to be really hard to get to round 100 if you've already gone down before round 50. So the reason I do leave this first room door closed is it just makes it a lot easier to train in this first room. And so when I do get insta-kills, I can make the most of it. Like I said, it takes forever to get to round 100 on this game. And I started this game at 12 p.m. and then it finished at 4:30 a.m. So that's pretty ridiculous. But I honestly think whenever I did get an insta-kill on this map, I got a red screen every single time. So for the high round strategy on this map, you do a route across the entire map using the vent system. And so first of all, we start in the exosuit room and use the trap. Now this trap specifically is going to be the trap that kills the most zombies for us. Your weapons will take forever to kill zombies on this map, past, round 40. So at this point, it's just the traps that you're going to have to really use. And so what I would do is I would jump from one side into the middle, use the vent, and the vent will take you next to the quick revive or the exomedic. And then you run out into the first room area and you run straight into the circular room, and that way you can get a lot of points while the zombies are running back to you. On this game, zombies don't really despawn. They tend to just run across the map back for you. So I can get a lot of points here because I'm only going to get kills with the traps. So obviously I need points. And also when you take the vent, it costs 2,000 per time. So you're going to run very low on points doing this strategy. So I try and get all my points up. I use the trap in the hallway here, and this can get a few kills. It usually doesn't get too many, but it also can just weaken the zombies. So then as soon as I run into the trap in the exo room, it kills them faster. And then we're back in the exo room. I use the trap again and we repeat the process. So bit of a weird strategy, kind of fun, but not at the same time because it takes so long to get to round 100 doing it. And so here is my first down at round 83. I get hit by an electric zombie and try and make it into the middle without the extra jetpack boost. And I miss, get trapped. Use my camouflage, which gets me out of it, and then I just run on the trap and sit on it like an absolute idiot. I then am lucky that the vent's right next to me, so as soon as I'm revived up, I use the vent. In this game, you don't lose all your perks, you only lose 3, so as soon as I vent, I land on the exomedic and then grab my exomedic, and I'm back to where I was just a minute ago. Now, I did get this really weird thing at round 83, which made me panic so much. I got this weird glitch where I couldn't shoot my weapon. And at round 83, I'd probably been going for about 8 or 9 hours already. So I was very confused what was going on. And I was literally about to leave the game until I realized that somehow my controls had changed and I just had to rebind shoot. Now, I don't think I've even mentioned that the zombies also have jetpacks, and so do the crawlers. The crawlers will literally jump at you with their jetpack, and they're pretty freaky in this game. Now, there are dog and infection rounds in this game. The dog rounds are the easiest rounds you'll ever have to do in your life, but the infection rounds can be a little bit iffy. I do like them a lot though, because they are faster rounds than the normal zombies. So if you do get infected, you just have to quarantine yourself. And I mean, it's really not that hard. I just take this route, quarantine myself, and then just do the normal strategy. There's no electric zombies during these rounds, so they are quite a lot easier as well. Because Advanced Warfare takes so long to get to round 100, you do get to a state where you run out of camouflages and distraction drones, and so you're just left helpless because your guns can't do anything if you get trapped. So I go down here, which kind of sucks. Couldn't do anything at all. I was just looking at the zombies as they were killing me pretty much. At this stage, I'd gone down 3 times, not 2. I couldn't actually find the third down in my footage because it was 3 hours long and I didn't highlight it for some reason. So these 2 clutches here were massive. If I went down here in the 90s, I would have been so annoyed, man. Especially this clutch here. I don't know how I survived this.
Get off! Stay away! How's that feeling?
Another thing I'm thankful for is that when you jetpack and the zombies also jetpack, you don't hit each other in the air. Thank God for that. And so yeah, we finally hit round 100. It took 13 hours, which is the longest round 100 I've definitely done. It's kind of ridiculous how long that is. And that's why I think the world record's only 160 on this map. And like, if I wanted to play for maybe like, I don't know, 10 more hours, I probably could have got like 5th on the highest rounds on Advanced Warfare. People don't like to play it that much because I don't think many people have gotten round 100 on it. Like I said, just because it takes so long. I did actually do round 100 as well because I got dogs and they take about 5 seconds to do. So round 101, Advanced Warfare, done and dusted. Just one more thing to mention, it does say 0 revives on the scoreboard because I was playing a private match, not a solo match. It doesn't change anything in the game at all. Infinity Ward were the second company to make a zombies game other than Treyarch, and they made Infinite Warfare, one of my favorite zombies. I really just like the movement on this game, it's so smooth and buttery. But I actually broke a world record in this game. I got the fastest round 100 ever on Spaceland. I beat the world record, which was kind of interesting because I'd never gotten round 100 on the game before. And so the way I learn how to get to round 100 on all these different games is I look at the speedrun world record for round 100. Hence why I think I got the speedrun world record on Infinite Warfare. I just got a lucky run and I'd failed quite a lot of times. So by the time I got round 100, I was very good at the strategy. As you can see, I do have the Black Sky camo on, which is, you know, the Royalty, Dark Ether, Dark Matter, Extinction camo. You know, it's what you get if you get every single weapon gold. I don't know why I have it because I definitely haven't done that, but I was able to put it on and it's pretty cool camo. I then make my way to the middle of the map here, and this is where I grab Neil's head. I really like this map. I like the colors, it's unique, it's innovative. I'm gonna put Neil's head on so then we can get tickets as fast as possible, because I was aware that maybe I could beat the world record for the fastest round 100 ever on this map, so I was just sticking to what would be the fastest way, and that's by building Neil's head and getting tickets that way, because we're gonna need 800 plus tickets later on in this game. I then begin to make my way to Juggernog. Now I do bunny hop the whole way. That just means you actually move faster on Infinite Warfare. So that's going to be good for speedrunning. And then I turn on the power. I'm always focusing on the getting tickets from Neil as well, from the challenges. And then I grab Juggernog. Do get my first red screen very early here. But Juggernog on this game is called Tough Enough. And on Spaceland, it's in a pretty bad spot, I must say. I then activate my first portal. You need to activate 4 of them to open the Pack-a-Punch. I then make my way to the arcade room where you can get more tickets. I then turn on the power, grab the MV4, and then activate my second portal. I then entered the Kepler system. I think I forgot to mention that this map is a theme park, which I absolutely love. So I'm in the Kepler system, I turn on the power, I then check, and I can get a rewind grenade, which is going to be super helpful later in the game, as you'll see, and then use my third portal. From the arcade, I can then go the back way towards Polar Peaks. I don't go through the main door because I need to keep that closed to speed up the rounds. I then turn on the power and use the 4th portal. Now I can actually pack punch my M1 Grand. And the M1 Grand is absolutely amazing, especially with the arcane core, as you'll see in a sec here. But once I've picked up my pack punch weapon, I then send the UFOs off and I can start my last part to the setup. But before we can move on to completing the setup, I have to kill the boss that spawns in, the big alien dude with the helmet on. He's actually a really cool boss. I really like him. In the higher rounds, he's very easy to kill, especially once you get the arcane core. But he's kind of just a fun boss. When you're not used to him, he can be quite annoying though, especially once he shoots lasers out of his eyes. At round 12, I finally can get the arcane core. I get it through Neil's challenges, and it costs 300 tickets. Now in Polar Peaks, we're trying to get the electricity from a UFO, which sounds kind of weird to say that. So first of all, we need to use this trap here and get about 20 kills with it. And once we've completed that, the UFO will now suck up the souls of any dead zombies that we kill. The round does end before the UFO blows up. So then I grab double tap and then go back into the room to fill up the UFO even more. And once the UFO blows up, it then leaves a part on the ground, and I just call it electricity because it looks like that. And you can pick it up with the arcane core, and that combined with the M1 Pack-a-Punch, this thing is ridiculously strong. I then grab cookies, otherwise known as speed caller. And then I make my way to the underground part of the map towards stamina. I'm always jumping while I'm running, so bunny hopping so that I'm moving as fast as possible. In this game, stamina up's called Racing Stripes, which is a pretty cool name. I then fountain my way over to the Kepler system and then grab bomb stoppers, otherwise known as PhD. They are very good in this game. Now we are fully set up except for the cryo freeze grenades, but I'll get them at about round 35 because at the moment the M1 is a one-shot kill up until about round 35. So I kind of just camp in this area here, running back and forth, one-shotting all the zombies, and it's pretty OP, this weapon. And it has such a big spread with the arcane core that it's really fun to use. As you can see, it even one-shots the boss's heads off. And so at round 35, I do make my way to the arcade and grab the cryo freeze grenades. These things are absolutely insane. But the only reason I have bomb stoppers this game is because you need them. If you do not have PhD with the cryo freeze grenades, you're pretty much just killing yourself. And seeing that I did want to beat the speedrun world record, I did a strategy from round 35 to 45, as well as the high round strategy. So from round 35 to 45, I used my cryo freeze grenades on the hordes of zombies whenever I could. And then I would make my way to this trap over here, activate the trap, and then camp just in the corner here. This gets a lot of kills, and you also get a lot of tickets, which is good if you go down to buy more cryo freeze grenades or something like that. And then once the trap ends, you should have regenerated a cryo freeze grenade because they do actually regen. So after about 40 seconds, things, you get a grenade back, which is great. And then you kill a full horde of zombies again. So once I've finished with this strategy at round 45, I then make my way to Polar Peaks. Be careful not to go down. And then you can actually remove perks in Infinite Warfare, which I love as well. So I remove my quickies or speed cola and then make my way and get quick revive. So I have that safety net at round 45 plus. Now this is something really small, but I just really like how satisfying the movement is in this game. And it feels so rewarding and you feel so in control of your character, which is going to be incredibly necessary because we're going to be training around this croc head area here, which is very hard. I'm going to be using the croc head to kill the zombies, not on the usual side, but on the harder side where more of the zombies spawn in. And so you will see here, I get a red screen, but I do manage to turn around and shoot the zombies, and shooting the zombies will slow them down, which just means the crocodile head would definitely hit them. So here's a perfect demonstration of how good the rewind grenade is. Pretty cool stuff. I really think Infinite Warfare was underloved and underappreciated as a zombies game. And here is a clown round, the dog rounds of Infinite Warfare. For some reason at the end of this round, I lose my electric at the end of my arcane core. So my gun gets really weak and it's really annoying because I was just like, this is just a glitch, which it was. And so I just had to wait a few rounds and get lucky that I didn't go down to then get another electric thing at my arcane core, which it just randomly came back. So kind of a confusing thing, bit weird to explain, because it's just a weird glitch. But I did notice it came back straight away after shooting an alien boss. So I don't know, weird glitch. Okay, so the high round strategy is pretty much what I've shown already. Just run around in this area here and then activate the crocodile head and try and get as many kills under it as possible. And then you want to run straight back into the area. It's very important to run straight back into the area. Sometimes I use cryo freeze grenades just to kill all the slow zombies surrounding it, or just a bunch of zombies just to speed up the rounds, because they can block you in that area, and that can be the scary part about the strategy. Also, just a lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can go wrong doing the strategy. I had 2 downs and I still beat the world record. So there's no denying how fast the strategy is, but it is super risky to get to round 100 with. And here's a perfect example of why it can be so tricky sometimes. You can just get really bad timing like this. And so yeah, it's usually caused by the police officers because they're usually slower zombies and they also take longer to kill. And so I did die there, and you get taken to the afterlife, you leave the afterlife, and then I go and get quickies and then make my way towards Juggernog. Also very important to mention that there is a lost and found where you get all your stuff back, which is awesome except for your perks. Like I said before, Juggernog is in a really bad spot on this map, so I take my time very slowly to get it, and it's pretty much just in a corner. It's so risky to get Jug, it's crazy. I then grab racing stripes and bang bangs, and then I make my way over towards the Kepler system again to get bomb stoppers, and now I'm fully set up pretty fast. But at this stage, I do not have cryo freeze grenades that regenerate. If you didn't know, once you go down, your cryo freeze grenades don't generate. So I'm going to need to pick up some grenades to buy some new cryo freeze grenades. I again get another close call. If I would have gone down here, I might have failed this whole challenge and never got the world record. But thank God I decided to bunny hop through here, because I think if I normally sprint, I probably would have died. But at round 94, I do actually go down, and it's so... I don't know how I went down here. If you can just have a look for yourself. I think I just got too close to the teeth closest to the neck of the crocodile, so I don't know. Also, I call it a crocodile because I live in Australia. I don't know, it could be a alligator because it's in America. And thinking about it, it probably is an alligator, so I apologize for calling it a crocodile. Okay, but here we are. We get to round 100 on Spaceland. We beat the world record. We got 6 hours, 46 minutes, and 46 seconds to get to round 100. The previous world record was 6 hours and 51 minutes, so we beat it by about 5 minutes, which is pretty cool. We did get a clown round on round 99, which is absolutely perfect, speeds things up. And I had an absolute blast playing this map. I really did. I might be biased, but I really like these non-Treyarch zombies games. And we move on to World War II next, which again, I actually like. And then we move on to Vanguard soon, so just brace yourselves. Okay, so we're back onto a sledgehammer game. We're playing World War II, and it's the Final Reich. In this map, I don't want to sound like cringe by saying this, but it's kind of like very good looking. It's a very beautiful map. There's just something about the atmosphere. It's meant to be scary, but I kind of just like looking around. It just looks nice. And you can probably see that I'm doing heaps of like 360s and things. Because I do move from game to game, I have to like relearn my sensitivity. And I was lucky enough to get to round 100 on my first game on Final Reich. So I'm just like learning my sensitivity and what feels the best on the different games. games because they do all feel different. Like I said, I felt like Infinite Warfare, I had the most control over my character. At the start of the game, I just use my pistol and my shovel to get heaps of points. I then do open the first room door. I then turn on my first and second valve and use the field upgrade I have. And I use my field upgrade, which just means I can just spam my weapon. I have infinite ammo for as long as my field upgrade's available, even if I have 0 bullets in my weapon. And also, I'm pretty sure your fire rate's faster and you do more damage with that weapon. I then turn on my third and final valve, which enables me to blow open the tunnel. I then grab the Type 100 and kill all the zombies coming out of the tunnel. These type of zombies are like the dog zombies on this game. They're really easy to kill. They're like a one-shot kill for the most part. I then make my way towards the tunnel and then a zombie tries to jump scare me. There's heaps of jump scare things on this map. The map really tries its hard to be terrifying. It's not really. Like I said, I think it just looks cool. I then buy Blitz, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is just stamina. I make my way up the tunnel, turn on the generator, which then opens the door. Also, now because the generator's on, I can open the bunker door. Once in the bunker, I then turn on the power by turning on the power supply in 2 positions on the map. I then go all the way down to the Emperor's room and charge the transfer device. I have to kill zombies to do this, and I nearly actually go down doing it. Once I had charged the transfer device in the Emperor's room, I then cranked it up into this room, and now I can start building the wonder weapon with it. I then grab Blitz, which is just double tap, I believe, and it really does make a massive difference in this game. I then go back into the tunnel and open the first door in the tunnel, and then the door on the left, I leave closed for the entirety of the game. I then go into the Pack-a-Punch room, press the button, which enables me to start going down the vents to unlock the Pack-a-Punch machine. On the way back up the tunnel, I get stuck and nearly go down very early. That would have been very rough. Instead, I survive and I grab the PPSH on my way back up the tunnel. And like I said before, they were really trying to create creepy vibes on this game. I then grab Blitz, which is a speed caller. Again, these games are so similar to Treyarch in their core kind of perks, wonder weapon, hit system. Like, they're very similar. But outside of the game's core, there are a lot of big differences, obviously. So I did just vent into the Pack-a-Punch room, and I need to do this 3 times to open the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now, the thing I hate the most about World War II zombies is definitely the boss zombies. Not the flamethrower ones, but the ones with the big axe that spawn in every round. Those guys, they won't miss you. If you're 10, 50 meters away, I don't care. They will hit you no matter what, and they take you to 1 health. I then take my second vent to the Pack-a-Punch. I then open the gate on the bridge, and this part of the map I really like as well. You're literally going towards a massive castle. And so on the bridge here, we then take a vent to the Pack-a-Punch, and now we can actually Pack-a-Punch our weapons because that's our third and final vent. And so I do Pack-a-Punch my pistol, and this will give me the bacon and eggs, which is just like the Mustang and Sally's. But in this game, you don't take any damage, no matter, like, there's no PhD, so you just don't take damage from the explosive of the pistols anyway. So these things are really good, and I'm going to be able to use these in the low rounds really well. But we do unlock the Tesla gun, the wonder weapon on the final Reich, and there's 4 versions to it, and we are actually going to upgrade it to the Midnight version. I'm not sure how good the base version of the Tesla gun is, to be honest, so we do get the green version, and I like it the best, the Midnight version. We do only need to do a few more steps now to get the Midnight version, so I examine the right hand of God first. I then pick up a Brenner head, which is one of the boss's heads, and take it to the statue over here. I shine a light upon the statue with the Brenner head, and it smashes open. I get my wonder weapon out, shoot the Uberschnell, which is the thing that came out of the statue, and then I pick up the Uberschnell and then put it into this thing over here. I don't know if that's how you pronounce Uberschnell, so I apologize if there's any German people. I then grab Blitz from the spawn room, otherwise known as Quick Revive. I grab it at round 24, which is actually really early for me to grab Quick Revive on one of these zombies games, but I was pretty confident. World War II is not the hardest zombies in the world. Now, with the Uberschnell in the device, I need to get a certain amount of kills with the trap next to the Uberschnell to charge it. Now, with the Uberschnell charged, I then take it downstairs and put it in this device here. Really, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's going to lead to me getting the Midnight Wonder Weapon. And so now I just need to protect this area of the map with the bacon and eggs pistols, so this was very easy. Once I protected it for a certain amount of time, it gave me a part, and now I can build the Midnight Wonder Weapon. And I really like this thing, it's really cool. As you can see, it shoots out like a whirlwind of green energy, and whenever it touches a zombie, it kills them. And so at this stage of the game, I'm fully set up. I just need one single thing, and that's the Jester. And I cannot stress this enough. I think I hit the box 30 to 40 times, and I didn't get the Jester. And the thing about this game, it always taunts that you're gonna get the Jester. It's kind of, I don't know, the mystery box is kind of funny like that. But I didn't get it once. So I just gave up 40 hits to the box. It took maybe like 10 minutes to hit it that many times. I was like, I can't be bothered. I'm just not going to have a Jester for this game. And if you didn't know, the Jester is just World War II take on the monkey bombs. And so when I do these videos and we try and get to round 100 on every zombies game, there's usually a low round strategy and a high round strategy. And the low round strategy for World War II zombies is pretty much just use the bacon and eggs in this small little room here. Just absolutely spam it. And as soon as you get your field upgrade, which you will get it very fast, use it, because with the field upgrade and the bacon and eggs, you're going to just kill zombies really quick. You can only really do the strategy up until about round 35. Then you're going to have to start doing the trap strategy. And so just before we go over the high round strategy, I just want to show this part. I did actually get one down, and it was here. I was using the Midnight Wonder Weapon, and I was using it with the field upgrade. The field upgrade ran out, and I didn't realize. And so then I used my remaining 2 shots, got trapped. Because I didn't have a Jester, there was nothing I could do. And so I get my first down here, which is kind of rough. It's very easy to get back up. It's just like Advanced Warfare. You only get 1 perk removed. So I got my Quick Revive removed. And so I just need to get my Quick Revive back. And so I do also get my armor back here. Armor is incredibly important to have on this game. Okay, so here's probably the best place to explain the armor in World War II, because I was confused about it too. So once you fully run out of health, you then get an extra hit, and then an extra one, and then an extra one. So you get 3 extra hits, and then you're dead. So you do have a lot of safety net on World War II zombies. That's why I think it is so much easier than the other games. But I'm well aware that some of the World War II maps are really hard, where something like the Final Reich, the one I'm playing now, is a little bit easier. Okay, so now for the high round strategy. So the one I used was, I would always hit the trap in the Pack-a-Punch room and then just come outside of it. Whenever a zombie was coming from outside, I would stun it by shooting it in the head, and then I shoot its body for extra points. Then made my way back through the Pack-a-Punch room. The traps don't last too long in this room, but they do get tons of kills. They really do. I then look back at the front entrance of the tunnel to get a ton of points. This strategy uses a lot of points. Let's say you run out of armor. It costs about 10 or 15,000 to get armor back. So you need a lot of points for the strategy. I then use the tunnel trap, which is absolutely awesome. Fire just goes everywhere. This map's actually really cool. I really like it, as I said. Then once the tunnel trap runs out, I then make my way back down the tunnel. And you gotta be very careful not to get hit too much. I do get hit a few times here. And then when I'm at this point, I will usually use my Midnight Wonder Weapon, just shoot it once back there, and it should kill a few zombies. Sometimes it will kill 15, sometimes you only kill 1 or 2, depending on how good your shot is and your timing. And then you make it back to the Pack-a-Punch trap, and now we're back to the very start, and you just rinse and repeat. This strategy is pretty fun. It's kind of similar to the Advanced Warfare strategy, which is kind of funny because they're both Sledgehammer games. This strategy is just a lot faster and a little bit more satisfying, and also a lot easier. At round 96, I do get a close call here, and it's all because of the bosses. I get hit by 1, and like I said, they're just impossible to avoid, so I do get hit by the second one as well. And your health does take a while to regenerate, so you can see I run out of armor, and I'm 1 hit away from dying. So very lucky I didn't go down here, otherwise I could have potentially failed. And so we hit round 100, and I just go outside here to kind of admire the castle and the landscape of the map. Like I said, that's my favorite thing about this map. It just looks really nice. And it also looks really cool once you actually get the round 100 that comes up on the screen. So that's very satisfying. And it took us around 9 hours to get to round 100, so not too bad in comparison to Advanced Warfare, let's say. Okay, so onto Vanguard zombies. We are using the Ian Horn revolving shotgun. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this thing is OP as hell. It's better than the ray gun. It's better than literally anything on this map, except for maybe the riot shield. Well, it is better than that because it has a 90-second cooldown as well. And so I am rocking Plague Diamond on the shotgun. It really doesn't look that great. And so first we just need to do a few regular outbreak type rounds to open up some portals, to then get the wonder weapon, and then to open the round-based section of the map. So first we have the transmit round. In this round, we just have to escort this orb around the map for like 40 seconds. And I honestly feel like most of my game playing Vanguard was just looking at a red screen like this. Just looking at the portal screen. That was pretty much my whole game playing Vanguard. And at round 4, I do manage to Pack-a-Punch my weapon, and there is actually a Pack-a-Punch camo in this game now. And to be completely honest, this game's actually playable now. I think when Vanguard released, it was maybe a 1 out of 10, maybe a 2 out of 10 if you're pushing it a bit. I would say this game is like a 4.5 out of 10 now. It's somewhat playable now that you got round-based and objective-based, and there's like a wonder weapon kind of. So I guess you'll just see in this video and you can make your own mind up, because I'm assuming most of you guys don't play Vanguard anymore. And so as you saw, I was pressing on that ritual stone there, which then opens this blue portal for me, and then I can start my process to getting the wonder weapon. And so this blue portal takes me to this floating island, and I have to do a purge round. After my purge round, it takes me back to the normal hub, and I have to shoot 4 crystals. Before I do complete all of my 4 crystals, I do actually upgrade my field upgrade. You can do that now, which is quite cool, I guess. So I upgrade Frost Blast. I then shoot my second, third, and fourth crystal, and now I'm on to the next step of the Easter egg. I then grab some armor and then go over to the Covenant. I actually kind of like the Covenants in Vanguard. I've always kind of said that since the game release. It's the one thing that I actually kind of like. And here you can see I pack-a-punch my shotgun again, and I get a red pack-a-punch skin on it, which is kind of cool. I then interact with my second ritual tablet and then grab Deadshot Daiquiri, otherwise known as, I don't know what the hell it's called in Vanguard. This ritual now gives me a green portal, so very spicy stuff. We've had a red, blue, and a green portal. The green portal then takes you back to the floating island, and then you will see the green portal spawn, and the riot shield will come out of it. That's the wonder weapon, if you didn't know. And then we just have to do a round on the island and go back to the main hub again. And not to mention that the boss spawns in right in front of us, but she's really weak, and she's not really a boss. I then upgrade my armor again, and then fully upgrade my field upgrade. And then I grabbed the riot shield wonder weapon. I mean, it's a really cool idea. I just wish the cooldown was less than 90 seconds, but at the same time, if it was, then it'd be way too overpowered. It's a bit of a far-fetched idea, but still, we got a wonder weapon and it looks kind of cool. I then grabbed Juggernog, and in this game, of course, you can upgrade your perks 5 times. That's why I haven't been showing myself getting all of the perks, but here I upgraded 5 times, and it makes you pretty strong. You're 2 hit without armor, but if you do have armor, you're a lot of hits. I then also get tier 5 quick revive, and these are, in my opinion, the 2 strongest perks on this game. I then pack-a-punch my shotgun for its 3rd time, and then it turns blue and gold, and it's actually kind of cool. I kind of like the pack-a-punch camos in this map. I then interact with my 3rd and final ritual, and this would then spawn in another portal, which will take me back to the floating island, and now I can play round-based zombies on the floating island. But first, you may notice there's a floating piece of paper in the air with 4 lines of red going to these arms attached to rocks. So you have to use the riot shield to remove these arms connected to the rocks. So you have to wait 90 seconds between every single slam, and then you can grab the piece of paper. And now finally, you can come back here whenever you want, or you can stay here now and play round-based zombies. And thus also concluding the Easter egg on this map. So we just did the whole Easter egg as well as just wanting to do round-based zombies. Sometimes when you kill the bosses on this map, they drop ray guns, but I never pick them up because they're really bad in my opinion. They just slow down the round a lot. And also they just make your screen shake like crazy, and it's just annoying to play with. So another thing I kind of like about Vanguard is that for the first 65 rounds, I did this strategy here where I just stood on the bridge and killed the zombies as they came towards me. Very easy, very unfulfilling, quite boring, but at round 65, it actually becomes slower than the objective rounds. So from round 65 plus, it no longer felt like the objective rounds took forever because they're actually faster than the normal round-based rounds. So I kind of enjoyed them a bit. So that's why I'm saying I kind of like this about Vanguard. From round 65 plus, I started doing the normal outbreak rounds. The first 65 rounds in the round-based area were really fast, so I did like that, but they're very boring because they're so easy, and the zombies just spawn anywhere around the island. When the map first came out, that wasn't the case. The zombies spawn closer to you on the island, but now they just spawn anywhere. Here's an example of the only way you would go down in the round-based area is if you fall off the map like me, like a bloody idiot, because you go all the way down to 1 health. Thank God it doesn't kill you or like completely end the game. But like I said before, at round 65, I started doing the objective rounds because they're faster than the round-based rounds, but they're actually a lot harder. They really are, depending on the map and the mode as well. I actually went down at round 79 on this purge objective on this map. This map's definitely the hardest for the objective rounds. So when I had revived myself, I used Frost Blast to make sure I got this 10th rune completed to finish the round. And yeah, it's really just this map that I fear getting in the objective rounds. It's actually really tight and compact, and the zombies run really quick in this game, obviously, and that compared with very small corners and not being able to see the zombies from very far is rough. So there are 5 different objectives you can get in Vanguard zombies. And so first of all, I would do harvest rounds, then go to sacrifice rounds, then to the transmit rounds, then to the blitz rounds, and then finally I would have the purge rounds. And so I can't really be bothered explaining all of those rounds. I'm sure most of you guys know how those rounds work, but they're kind of boring, so I don't want to put you guys to sleep how all the objectives work. But here we are. We get to round 100. Purge completed. And I teabag the boss here because I'm just so happy I don't ever have to play this game possibly ever again. I then go through my very last red portal, and that round 100 in the top right looks really clean. It actually fits on the screen like most zombies games don't. For some reason, they always mess up the round 100 text. So it actually looks really nice in the top right corner there. And now we begin the exfil. So we have to kill 35 zombies, I believe. So like 100 zombies just spawn in and come from everywhere. It's very easy to kill the zombies though when you're in the open like this. And I just spam my shotgun. I could use Frost Blast if I need to. And also I have the Riot Shield. So, but this shotgun is just so overpowered, man. And a few of the covenants I have on just make it ridiculous. So I kill all the zombies here, and now you have 1 minute. Oh no, sorry, you have 43 seconds to get to the exfil portal. And I didn't know where it was at first, but it was around here. I have some kind of clean movement here. You can have some pretty clean movement. It's usually in Infinity Ward games with clean movements, not Sledgehammer. But then I do the exfil, completed it, done and dusted. I will hopefully never touch this game again, but I think they're adding round-based Shino Numa, and maybe that's good. Who knows? Gotta give it a chance. So round 100, we actually had one down, which is kind of sad, but hopefully you guys did enjoy the video.